What's up? You doing good today? Well, that's good to hear. Well, before this video really starts, I would like to ask you to give it a like, subscribe, and hit that little bell at the bottom so that you will get the notification for whenever I upload a video. Now, on with the actual video itself. This actually came to me after I was looking through the Dragon Ball comments on a video, and some dude asked, well, what if Gohan actually, trained between the Cell Saga to the Buu Saga? How powerful will he be? Well, this is my attempt to actually answering that. Now, this is a fan fiction, so things are going to be blown out of proportion quite a bit. But let's start. This is about a month after the BoJack Unbound movie came out. Or, not came out, but, happened. And Gohan has been trying for the past month to actually go out and train, since he believes that there are more people like BoJack in the universe that are that powerful and will, come and destroy his planet or what have you. So, one day he's able to sneak off from home, go to his local training area, or not local, but, where he usually trains. And when he gets there, he was training for a little bit, and he suddenly is startled by the appearance of two people. One is short and blue, having a weird mohawk, and the other one is tall and red. Now, what really gets Gohan's attention is the fact is that he didn't sense these people showing up. Matter of fact, he still can't sense them. They are showing no power level whatsoever, which is odd because both of them are floating in midair in front of him. Gohan gets ready in a battle stance, and before anything can happen, the short one tells him that, whoa, we are not here to fight. We are here to ask a favor of you. Gohan is a bit hesitant and asks, well, what do you want? The short one says that, I am the Supreme Kai. I am the head of all the Kais. Now, this throws Gohan for a loop. He does know who the Kais are, because, his father was trained by King Kai, and Goku pretty much tells him, or told him, what the actual Kais are. So, he is a little bit off guard at the moment, because while it's true that he can't sense this person's energy, he is still technically a god. So, who knows? He could actually be suppressing his energy so he wouldn't give off, make other people aware on the planet. Now, Gohan does not know anything about, God Ki or anything like that. So, this is the explanation I'm giving right now. So, Gohan, gets out of his battle stance, still a little hesitant because this person could be lying and could be another android, because there's already been, quite a few of them showing up here and now. So, he said, Supreme Kai goes on to tell Gohan that the favor he's needing from him is for him to come with him and train for 7 years. Now, this right here is pretty much like, wait, what? I can't go off for 7 years and train? And Gohan is pretty much like that. Not only does he not trust him, but this stranger is, asking him to go with him and train for 7 years away from his house. Or, away from his home. I don't know why I said house. I'm been weird today. Ignore all this. Pretty much that. Not only that, but he also tells Supreme Kai that, I don't even know if you actually are the Supreme Kai, or even if there is a Supreme Kai for that matter. The only person I've ever known to be called Kai was King Kai. Shin is It's nods at this. Well, that's understandable. And pretty much he gives Gohan this. Come with me for a week. 1 week. 7 days. That's all I'm asking. Train with me. See if I'm actually telling you the truth by what everything I'm about going to show you throughout the week. And you can decide then. He also says one more thing. And don't worry. By the power that you were giving off when you fought Bojack, me myself, I'm about as powerful as what Bojack was. A little bit less than what Bojack is, but still, Gohan would be able to beat him without a doubt, especially with the power that he has right now. So Gohan is like, okay, I will take your advice, or not your advice, but I'll take your proposal, and he goes back home. Now, he does not tell his mother that he's going to do this, which will be something that comes back and bites him in the rear. So, he leaves a note saying that, bye, Mom, I'm going to train with Kai just like Dad is. And goes back to Supreme Kai, and they take him to the planet of the Kais to train. But when they get there, Supreme Kai says, okay, before we do any training, you have to do something first. You see this sword over there, up on top of that mountain? I need to see you pull that sword out to make sure that you actually are the person that I'm looking for. Gohan looks over towards the mountain, sees the sword, and he's like, well, is that it? All I gotta do is just pull a sword out of the ground? Supreme Kai then smirks and nods, yeah, that's all you got to do. Well, they all fly over there towards the mountain. Gohan gets on top of it. He reaches down, tries to pull the sword out. It's not really budging at all. Of course, he's still in his base form. He's like, okay. He puts a little bit more power into it. It's still not budging. Okay, he takes a step back. He enters Super Saiyan, which catches both Supreme Kai and Albedo Kai, I think his name was, off guard. Because while they know he's powerful, they do not know about the, transformations, per se. Gohan reaches back towards the sword. It budges a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I'm talking about just shaking, pretty much. Gohan takes another step back, goes into Super Saiyan 2 because he did all he could in Super Saiyan 1, reaches down, and is still struggling, but is able to pull the sword out of the ground. At this point, both the Supreme Kai and his helper are blown back. They knew he was powerful. They knew how powerful Bojack was. Well, not necessarily exactly how powerful, but they had a rough understanding of how powerful he was. So they begin to train. A week goes by. At the end of the week, Gohan goes to Supreme Kai. He's like, okay, I actually believe you. You've shown me all this evidence that you are who you are by showing me, images of the other Kais and all that. Even show me an image of my father training right now with some green dude. So, yeah, I believe that you are who you say you are. And while I might not like being here for 7 years straight and not being home, I dislike the universe being destroyed all that much more. So, they continue on with the training. A couple more days go by. A week goes by. A month. Then it turns into a couple months. Then it's a half. Well, you see what I'm doing. Pretty much at the end of that year, or a full year has went by, and Gohan has, really became a lot more powerful. his Super Saiyan 2 state is more along the lines of the power that a Super Saiyan 3 has. Not quite there, but it can still be considered within that, range. But what makes Gohan thinks is, well, by what the Supreme Kai or Shin actually told me, that they never did use this sword on Buu. How do they actually know that this sword will, harm Majin Buu? So Gohan goes to the Supreme Kai and actually asks him this. Shin is thinking, well, that's actually a very good point. We have never tried this before. Matter of fact, the last time that Majin Buu showed up, he completely killed all the other Supreme Kais, and before we were able to, seal him away. So Shin takes Gohan, and they test out the sword. First, they are cutting some rocks, some stones, and what have you. Shin has a bright idea. Let's try cutting the hardest thing in the entire universe. So hard, matter of fact, you can only make it by magic. Shin creates that giant cube. I still can't talk. That cube, and hurls at Gohan. Gohan prepares, swings back, and cuts his own sword in half because it broke. Now at this point, both the Supreme Kai and Gohan and Ibeo Kai are freaking out because they just broke this thing. Now before they could do anything, a smoke comes out of the sword, and poof, there is Elder Kai. Now, before we go any further, I have to say this. It looks like my time restraint is actually coming up. I know I got a few more minutes, but I would not want to push it. So, like, subscribe, and push the little bell down there in the corner to get more of great content, which is definitely coming soon. So, until next time, have a good one.